Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Bumblebee movie masterpiece, Optimus Prime. And I will say, I know this has been a debate for a while now since this toy was released, on how, it is cheaply made compared to the other masterpieces, compared to like Bumblebee and the Bayverse Transformers. I watched that toy guy's video, and what he pretty much stated in that entire in his video of this toy, it actually made a lot of sense. But I do plan on buying the upgrade kit, and I will say, as a toy itself, I actually quite enjoy this. To the fact that this was technically my first real masterpiece purchase, like under the official movie masterpiece toy line, because I know half of my base stuff is knockoffs, but before I got guys like Megatron or Barricade or Bone Crusher Blackout or Bayverse Prime Ratchet and Ironhide, this was technically the only movie masterpiece toy that I physically bought from a store. Starscream, I got lucky and ended up getting him in a trade. Same as Bumblebee. Ironhide, he is an official one, but I technically don't consider him as like a masterpiece purchase because I got him in a lot overseas, and I didn't even realize what it was at the time. So this is where this toy is somewhat special to me. Getting into the toy though, it is a weird looking truck. I will give it that. The back here looks a lot like how Lucky Cat did their Prime, both their Legend Scale Prime and their Rise of the Beast one. But at least it's screen accurate because the truck they used was like long in the back. This panel has given me issues over the years. I think I'm ready to just cut that tab off completely. Can I even cut it off? Yeah, it's plastic. Yeah, I'm ready to cut that tab off completely and just let it lay flat. Yay. But nope, it does have weapon storage. He can plug his weapon into the back, and it's not too bad. It is a flat nose semi-truck. And for comparisons, I'm going to bring in the closest I have to the Studio Series Bumblebee Movie Prime, and that being the Rise of the Beast Prime. This is a retool, essentially, of the Bumblebee Movie one, so it at least qualifies. I do have a bunch of other Bumblebee Movie Studio Series, but I'm not going to transform them all because they're all Tetrajets. And I do also have Bumblebee Movie Bumblebee from Movie Masterpiece. And I never really paid attention. That's a decent scale. Prime would technically be a little bigger though. Just judging how the Beetle compares to the what was it, a Kenworth he was in the movie? It's either a Peterbilt or a Kenworth, COE. But yeah, that's how he looks with him. The only other Bumblebee Movie Prime I do have that I would like to use, but I can't, is a Toy World Freedom Leader. And if none of you already know the story on that, I was so disappointed when I bought it because it ended up snapping in half, like right out of the box. So he is forever in statue mode. But with all that out of the way, let's get Optimus Prime into his robot mode. transformation for Optimus was pretty good. I do admit, getting him to and from truck mode, he doesn't get out of his own way, and some parts do worry me quite a bit. My biggest thing, you might have even seen it in the time lapse, is his entire back grill here becomes his back. This is all paint, and my biggest concern is that paint scratching off just due to how it is placed. But other than that big concern, as well as the huge amounts of clear plastic right there, and I think if I remember correctly, yeah, right there, it's cracked on me. So I am definitely going to have to track down the upgrade kit for Optimus Prime, because I am scared that these clear plastic bits are going to break. But other than that, his transformation is quite intuitive and at the same time really, really fun. Just getting into the details here, not at his chest, but at his head. I'm not a big G1 person. I have said this numerous times. I do have fun with the toys, at least, or the Studio Series G1 toys. Like 86 Commander is my favorite for a G1 representation, but doing it in the movie styles, it's something I grew up with. I'm kind of digging it. Pardon me. And looking at the detail and sculpt, it's a really good Prime. He's a really good Prime. And if I remember correctly, if I didn't paint over them, he does have light piping in the back of his head. You could see it somewhat there. My main issue is, even without the light piping, this is where I got brave at one point. He looks kind of dead. His eyes have dead eye syndrome, is what I like to call it. But yeah, just back at the head. I like the way it looks. I think the movie aesthetic with the G1 look just works. And now that I'm looking at it more, it kind of reminds me of how his head was in Rise of the Beasts. Just how narrow it is. But yeah. If I were to get into comparisons now, here he is with MPM Bumblebee Movie Bumblebee, and yeah, that's a good scale. You know what? Actually, let's just bring all my Bumblebee movie figures out quickly. Here I have Studio Series Skywarp, Studio Series Starscream, Studio Series Thrust, Studio Series Bumblebee, and Studio Series Sunstreaker. And you can see how he scales against like the Seekers, his Autobots. I think the way he scales with the Seekers, I'm actually quite pleased with how that looks. Because Prime has always been one of those, I am bigger than everybody except Megatron. And I think this scale works quite a bit. With comparisons out of the way, we're going to get into his articulation, and he's fairly posable. Head can go left and right. Arms can do a full 360. They can go out that far. Got 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. It's got a bicep swivel and wrist rotation plus articulated fingers. 3 conjoined, trigger finger, and his thumb, which look very, very weird, in my opinion. And this is an issue of me at least. Oh, he's also got wrist pivots there. You try and bend his arm back into shape, and he pretty much breaks his own arm. It's a soft thoop right there, and in my opinion, it does not work all that great. Come on. There we go. Our waist rotation, he can do full 360 if he wanted to. Getting his skirt pieces out of the way. You got 3 pieces here for his front hip, rear hip, and his leg. Leg can go forward that far, can go back that far, can go out all the way. Thigh rotation, 90 degrees of bend at the knee, as well as ankle tilt and pivots, which is pretty cool. Just tidy it back up. He does have a few gimmicks on the go. Or correction, he does have a couple of accessories, I should say, not gimmicks. One of them being his gun. It's exactly how it looked in the Bumblebee movie. And you can take it in any, or you can put it in any of his hands. Like so. It just tabs into it. And yeah, that works fairly well. Yep. And there goes the arm. Getting it out of his hands. He also does come with a matrix of leadership. So we're just going to put his arms in a stance like that for right now. But we can open up his chest. And you can see the matrix. And it is very nice. It's different compared to the other matrices that I've seen. And it's also... I can't even hear it. Here we go. It's die-cast. There we go. Now you can hear it. And that's pretty nice. He does have a fair bit of die-cast in him, too. Just untransform his leg quickly. This gas canister right here that folds into his leg, that entire piece is die-cast, so it gives the figure nice weight. And with the matrix as well, I find it's at least balanced. And with the matrix, it's big enough to where you can get him to light your darkest hour. And I find that is really nice in a modern Optimus Prime toy. And lastly, before we end today's video, Prime does have some weapon storage. We just turn around here, we can fold his gun up like so, and this middle tab can be plugged right into his butt. Like, I am not lying, that is the only weapon storage. Is in his butt. So that is the Transformers movie masterpiece, Bumblebee Movie Optimus Prime. And I will say, I like this a lot. There are better offerings out there, for sure. But if you want to stay official, this is a good toy. Find it for a better price than what I did. I think I paid $160 at my local EB Games. At the time, local EB Games. Or GameStop, whatever. And I got yelled at for it because of my girlfriend, but at the time, I thought that was a good deal. Looking back at it, I see the flaws in the toy, and yeah. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.